Welcome to yet another episode of Mic'd at Vista. One more conundrum that the parents face while choosing a school for a child is the curriculum. Is it the golden standard set by the CBSE for the competitive exams, or is it the global curriculum of IB? More than a decision, sometimes it feels like a high risk gamble. To throw more light on this, today we have with us our principal, Ms. Mary Shantapriya. Ma'am, welcome to another episode of Mic'd at Vista.
It's been too long. I think we took a very long break. We paused ourselves because of the exams which were ongoing. It's again a pleasure to be back at Mic'd at Vista.
Ma'am, to begin simply, for a very confused parent, how would you differentiate IB and CBSE in a couple of sentences?
Ramya, to start with that, I have to give a story before. We are at an era where we have a lot of choices. But again, having said that, if you ask me, I have studied from a state board. Now I am heading a CBSE and an IB board. So, which curriculum a parent has to choose? It's not that challenging as it sounds, because parents need to think what is that they would want to provide for their child. How is that they would want to see their child? It's like, as all of us know, children are like raw clays, right? And parents first, because as per our culture, Adi Gurus are parents. So, as a parent, they need to decide what kind of shape and form they want to give their children. It cannot be that, okay, there are schools, I put my clay on that and it will take its own shape. It doesn't work anymore like that because of the variety which is available in the market. So first, a parent needs to do an introspection for himself or herself. What exactly and how exactly they would prefer to see their child in the future. Once that is clear, is where they can move ahead with the curriculum.
So that is all in theory, but if we look at a practical view of the things that are happening inside a classroom or so, what should a parent know? Like, how would it day-to-day basis, what would be different?
So if you as a parent prefer that your child should not memorize, should not get into that rote learning, should actually understand the foundation and the depth of the concept before going into that extensively, I would ideally say that IB would be the right kind of platform. Before that, even about going into the curriculum, a parent needs to know about their child. As a parent, how is your child? Is a child someone who enjoys learning by doing? Or is your child very disciplined, very organized, has got a kind of a set schedule and follows it if the moment you tell him or her to do it? So first, try to differentiate, understand your child. Understanding not necessarily that you put them into a school and you will learn. So you will understand your child by observing them in every day-to-day activity. Sometimes you get to hear from parents that any toy you give to my child, first he or she will break it. So it is not breaking, it is that your child is very curious to know how is it functioning. If that's the key essence of your child, curiosity, then I would say IB would be the ideal one. There are few children, you give them a toy, they enjoy playing with it, they keep it very safely, they are very meticulous about this stuff, which means they believe in having a structure. If that is the approach of your child, then go in for any structured curriculum, be it a state, be it a CBSE or an ICSE, any Indian curriculum will fit in your child. If the child really loves putting their hand into mud, messing up the place, so he's always inquisitive, he is always curious, so give them the global curriculums. So that's where first as a parent, you can decide which curriculum would be apt for your child. So once you set that benchmark, so you've understood what kind of a learner your child is, and which is not very difficult. As a parent, that's how you observe your child also. Once that is decided, next, what is that you want as a parent? How do I want my learner to be, my child to be? Am I focused parent, who knows that futuristically I want my child to get into engineering, medical, the regular paths which have already been taken by a lot of people, tested and proven, then I would say stick on to the traditional, curriculum which helps them to get into the path. No, I'm not a parent of that kind. I'm a parent who would prefer to give my child an experience, to give my child an opportunity to understand why, what, and how. Then I would say that these kind of curriculums which are international, be it an IB, be it an IGCSE, is where you have to decide upon. So I think this will make the job very easy to most of the parents, and we will be putting in some slides also which will help them to distinguish between both the curriculums as well as the learning pattern of both the curriculums also. Maybe that way they will get a better clarity in understanding what to opt for their child, rather than jumping into conclusion just as a status symbol. Yeah, everyone is heading towards the IB, so I put my child into IB, or everyone is more focused on NEET and JEE, so I put them into a bigger. That's not the right approach to decide about the curriculum. As I said, first understand your child, their learning practice, their learning habit. That's your first step. Second, as a parent, how do you vision for your child? If you have a vision, then you will give the guidance. If you're just like a person, I put them in school, I'm paying the fees, learning has to happen, then I think I have no answers to such kind of questions.
I think that is very clear, the paths. Thank you, ma'am, for that. Now, CBSE has always been about structure, like you have said. It's set curriculum, set textbooks, and IB, most of it without the textbooks. So, going forward, futuristically speaking, do you see a merging point between these two curriculums? Like, can a child in IB have the best of both worlds in some way? Because right now, I think most parents fear about their child attempting the competitive exams somehow.
So, Ramya, you being a teacher, my question comes to you. Why do we have a textbook?
I think to detail whatever the child has to learn, be a guide or something.
Then what is NCF?
It's a curriculum framework wherein the topics are written.
Then how are the textbooks designed?
Based on the NCF.
So, very simple answer is, textbook is just the guide. To what extent and how much? For all the parents who are not from the teaching industry and not aware of, every textbook is designed based on the NCF. If you get time, kindly browse through. NCF talks only about the conceptual learning per age. So if I'm a 5 years old kid, how much and to what extent I should be learning. But that's just the guidelines. It can go beyond and lesser than also depends on the learner. So having a textbook, not having a textbook is just a myth. Yes, for a teacher it becomes convenient, for a parent it becomes convenient to fall back on, because I have a textbook. Teacher can conveniently give an answer saying that this is what is given in a textbook. Parent can equally take the ease and say that that's what is given in the textbook. But again, IB does not want to build in that boundaries. So me being a teacher myself, having taught for so many years, when you get into a classroom, sometimes there are days where we go way beyond the textbook. So textbook is just there, but it is not that we follow it to the T. But since I've been teaching for the higher grades, the children understand the intensity and we also know how to follow. We know how to balance. So IB does not want to give that boundaries and confine the learning, which doesn't mean that it does not have any guidelines. IB is an international curriculum and which is called as a world school curriculum. The very fact that it is called as world school curriculum, we have to distinguish between IB and IGCSE. IGCSE, or people know it as CIE, it's called as Cambridge curriculum, which means it's followed in regions of UK. But when you look at IB, it's called as a world school curriculum, which means it adapts and aligns in the country wherever you are executing. So in a country like ours, when we are running IB, we will align it with the NCF, not with the textbook and the publication. So that makes the job way easier even for the parents to understand that for this particular grade, this is the learning outcome which is expected, or this year, if the child is 10 years, this is the learning outcome expected. So that makes the job easy by itself. So textbook is just a guide. It's like using a guide when you come to the board classes so that you understand how the board questions would be coming in. It's similar to that. It's just a myth. Having textbook, not having textbook is just a myth.
Thank you, ma'am. Now that was about the textbooks. Now, if we know that learning goes beyond the textbooks, and there is this certain ratio of a parent's emotional and academic involvement when it comes to their child's education. Now, there is this perception that IB requires a greater amount of parental interaction when it comes to their study hours. Ma'am, what do you say about this?
So, a very, very, very important question to all the parents: parental involvement. Trust me, no school can transform a child. It is you who can transform the child. There are a lot of parents who come back and say that we are joining the child, we are paying so much of fees. What is that the school doing? School is a social environment, irrespective of the curriculum I'm talking about. At the young years, it is mandate for a parent to be involved. If the parent is involved, the learning outcome graph is more higher than the non-involvement of a parent. So when it comes to IB, because it's more of research based, it's more of activity based, it's more of understanding and then doing, undoubtedly it would be little on the higher end, especially at the years when it is grade 1, grade 2, mandatorily. But I trust me, if you are actually involved in your child's learning at the foundational years, as a parent you will relax for the rest of your life. If you are not involved during those years, trust me, rest of your life you will be struggling with your child. I don't say this is going to happen for everyone, but majority of the children. I'm not talking over here sitting as a principal, but definitely as a parent. Because as I started, we strongly believe Adi Gurus are parents. Nowhere in our history, in our tradition, it has been told that Adi Gurus, yes, we give importance to Gurus, undoubtedly. But the first Guru for any child is their parents. So it will be great if a parent can set in that foundation for the child by being partnering with their learning. That will also keep them connected as to what extent the child is able to understand, not able to understand. Even if they reach out to the school, they give better clarity. So involvement of parent is mandate irrespective of the curriculums and the boards. The intent and the extent of the involvement for IB would be a little on the higher end because it's not a textbook driven. So parents need to be partnering, need to understand, need to sit at least for the first 2 years of the IB learning.
I would second that, ma'am. Being an IB parent myself, especially during those homework sessions, I put in a lot of effort with him. But very surprisingly, during the exams, it's all him. Like, I have no idea how to help him prepare. But I have come to know the very hard way that he doesn't need my help to prepare when it comes to exams.
So I think, Ramya, you should be the right person addressing the parents, because I am a parent who has not put my child into IB. Unfortunately, we didn't have that curriculum at that time. But you are a parent. You have one kid who is there in the CBSE board, another kid who is going through the IB board. Maybe you will be the ideal person to talk to the parents. What were your challenges? What was your intent to opt in for IB, not for CBSE? Because you've already experienced that. Maybe as a student you have done that, and you are also a person who studied abroad and come. So you will also understand the learning differences which come in for as to how it is. I think you should be answering those questions rather than me more.
I think personal experiences aside, I think there was a lot of learning that we picked up during our own educational journey, that it was easier for me to guide my elder one, who's a CBSE student. And looking at how my younger one is, I thought, like whatever you said, by observing him, I thought he's more hands-on guy rather than someone who would sit and rote learn something. So obviously, and I think my elder one played a very major role in this decision making process, and he wanted my younger one to have this IB education. And both of them are very happy right now. And I think for me, it took a lot of unlearning. Like, I wanted to sit him down like I did with my elder one, say, do this, read this, and I had no, because all they had was whatever they have learned. And coming home, he would was very verbal about whatever he has learned, he's going through, and sometimes it surprises me, like, oh my god, you already know about that. And I think both of them, I don't know, probably if I had an option for IB for the elder one, probably I would have chosen the same thing for him as well.
So the parents out there, we are not selling IB, to be very, very frank. Don't take us wrong. Our intent is not that. We are trying to give you an understanding of a curriculum which you have not experienced, neither did we. But since we are running the curriculum, she is a parent of a child who's experiencing the curriculum. We are sharing our experiences. So at any given point of time, we duly respect every board and every curricula which is there, but it is the learning style and your child and you who decide which style you would want to give it to your child.
Yes, well said. But now moving on to a very child-centric session in our podcast. Like, right now we have spoken to parents, but if you were to speak to a child, a learner, and there are like the WAC learning styles, what kind of a learner do you think will gel in with this IB curricula? What kind of learner do you think will do very well in a CBSE?
Again, Ramya, it's very difficult to answer such kind of questions because children change. And sometimes the changes are so drastic, you can't even think about, yes, a child was so quiet has become so loud, can express himself or herself. So coming to the children, I mean, grade 1, 2, 3, I'm sure parents, I've already spoken to you, you are the decision maker. But for the other kids, if you really want to learn something of your choice and in your own style, not getting stuck to a book, if you are a learner who believes in, digging more deeper into the concepts, asking more questions as why not this, why like this, if it is like this, how will it going to shape up into, such kind of learning inquisitiveness with lot of curiosity you have, I think international curriculums will give you a way ahead advantage. Exclusively why I talk about IB is it's not a textbook driven curriculum. So that makes it even more compatible, not just to the students, to the parents, even for the school at large, because it can be embedded into any country, any region, as per the regional demands and requirements. So for the children who feel that I cannot sit, read for hours together, or teachers constantly teaching, I have to focus and I have to be very attentive, then I would say that you have to move to a curricula which gives you a lot of hands-on experience, which brings out yourself outside rather than expecting you to mold yourself into whatever is already set in as a standards. If you are a person who believes in becoming an entrepreneur, if you are a person who believes that I need to think on my own, if you are a person who would love to take risk, while taking risks, you know how to be disciplined, you know what is being sensitive towards others. If these are your strong qualities, then definitely I would say IB is the kind of curriculum. Having said that, there's always a myth that if IB I go ahead, I cannot write NEET and JEE, which has always been a strongest point. And we being Indians, we are more towards inclined towards science subjects. Trust me, I'm a maths teacher myself. So having been teaching that subject for years together, NEET and JEE are competitive. Competitive exams require techniques and practices. If those techniques and practices, if you say that a CBSE or a state board child does not need to prepare, the curriculum trains them to write the competitive, then I would strongly promote CBSE and state. But having said, whichever the board, the child has to undergo a vigorous training. So even if he's part of an IB, he has to undergo the same kind of stuff. So children who feel you want to do something which is different, then I think you need to start thinking differently. And I'm sure if your parents align with you, definitely you should be opting in for a curriculum like IB. So with that, again, I want to conclude saying we are not promoters of any curriculum. We are here, part of education industry. I'm here for past 30 years. I think Ramya is there for past 17 years. So I started growing in this industry. So whatever wisdom, knowledge we have learned over the past years, we felt this is the right platform to share. Because for me, I don't know about her, when I was parenting, I didn't have these options. And I know as a parent, I've done so many mistakes. I wish I had someone who could guide me. I only knew the way I was parented, the same way I've parented my child. So these issues always keeps as a guilt for me. I feel that I wish someone has told me. I wish we had a choice. I wish we could have thought differently. So since now you have those options, I'm sure that these things will give you an insight to take a right decision for your child. So I think thank you so much, Ramya. It's a pleasure coming back to you all after a long time. We will come back again, most probably with another interesting and exciting podcast with the preschool kids. You must be wondering, what are we going to do with the preschool kids? Trust me, they are way too difficult to handle. For me, if you ask me, I will be happy going into grade 10, 11, 12 than going to the preschool, because their innocence is not killed. Their curiosity is not killed. Their inquisitive is not killed. They ask questions. We put them into a streamline where we kill that asking questions. Again, ask questions. I'm again very specific about asking questions. How you ask a question is also very important. The right tone, the right pitch is very, very important. So if you feel that you want your child to have their own voices, have their own choices in the right manner, then I would definitely recommend and suggest and say IB will give that kind of advantage. If you feel that you want a discipline to be set in, a regime to set in, then I would ideally say that CBSE will give them a best advantage. So the choice is yours now, decision is yours now. I wish good luck to all the parents who are in a dilemma to take a decision, whether IB, CBSE, international, state. I'm sure this video would give you kind of insight, kind of depth in making a decision. I hope we have not confused you all further. Wishing all of you good luck, hoping that your child flourishes in whichever field or stream they get into. Thank you. Have a great week.